All right, so today we're going to look at something pretty special. It's a school that isn't just, teaching the usual subjects. They're actually building a more sustainable world, and they're doing it right from their own campus. We're talking about Crawford International Sandton and what they call their blueprint for a greener future.
Okay, so this quote, this is really the key to understanding the whole story. It's not just some nice sounding tagline they put on a brochure. Nope. This is their core philosophy. It's what drives absolutely everything they do. You can see how it connects the dots, right? Their past, what they're doing now, and where they're headed. So, to really get a grip on their commitment to the future, we've got to do something a little counterintuitive. We have to look back. Their whole approach, everything they're building, is founded on this really deep, real connection to their own history. It's this idea that you can't shape the future without first honoring your past. So the campus itself is actually made up of 3 different schools, all on one site. You've got the little ones in pre-primary, then the preparatory school, and finally the college. And what this does, which is pretty smart, is it lets them weave their values into a student's life from the very beginning all the way until they graduate. It's one long, consistent journey. Now, this is where the story gets really interesting. In 2013, the preparatory school building was officially named a heritage site. But here's the thing. That decision didn't come from some committee or the school board. No way. It was the students themselves. They dug into the history of their own school, discovered it was the former home of this prominent guy, Sir Montague Simpson. That curiosity, led by the students, is what kicked the whole thing off. And that commitment, it just kept growing. The school has earned not 1, but 2 of those prestigious blue plaques from the Sandton Heritage Foundation. Think about that. One is for the historic building we just talked about, and the other is for this amazing, iconic coral tree on their sports field. It's such a clear message, right? They're saying we have to respect both our built and our natural heritage. Both are equally important. Okay, so they've got this incredible foundation built on heritage. The big question is, how do you take that respect for the past and turn it into a real, modern plan for sustainability? Well, that's where their green blueprint comes into play. It's their game plan, their structured way of turning all that philosophy into actual, real-world change. At the heart of their program are these 6 core themes from the WESA Eco Schools program. And you can see, this isn't just a random list of green activities. It's a really comprehensive approach. It covers everything from community and heritage, which we've seen, all the way to the nitty-gritty of managing water, energy, and waste. This is their roadmap for getting things done. And what's so powerful here is how perfectly this all lines up with their main academic philosophy, the International Baccalaureate program. I mean, look at the missions side by side. WESA wants people to care for the earth. The IB wants to develop caring young people. WESA empowers action. The IB encourages students to take action. It's an absolutely perfect match. And this is so important because it means sustainability isn't some extracurricular activity. It's woven right into the fabric of their education, into their DNA. All right, so we've got the history, we've got the framework, that's all great, but what does it actually look like day to day? Let's dive into how these big ideas are brought to life with real, tangible actions at the school. This is where the rubber meets the road. One of the big concepts they really champion is upcycling, and I love this definition, which actually comes from one of their teachers. It's the art of taking a material that is past its use-by date and breathing higher life into it. It's not just recycling, right? It's about transformation, taking something old and making it something new and even more valuable. But why? Why is this so important to them? Well, this quote from Nina Bloom, one of their teachers, just nails it. She says, "It's all about waste management, really, and stop using our natural resources." Simple as that. It's a hands-on way to tackle waste and to stop taking so much from the planet. And this isn't just a one-week project or a special event. It's a full-on year-round commitment. Just look at their planner. The year kicks off in January with the students themselves forming an eco committee and doing a full environmental audit. Then you have big events like Earth Day in April and a school-wide Clean Up and Recycle Week in September. It all builds up to December when they submit their final portfolio for the year. It's a constant cycle of action. Now, what's really amazing is that all this learning and action doesn't just stay inside the school walls. It spills out into the wider community. And this, for me, is a huge part of their story, turning what they learn in the classroom into real, meaningful action that helps others. And they start them young. Seriously, just look at these numbers. This is just from the pre-primary school.
The little kids. We're talking about collecting 2,600 Easter eggs, raising our $27,000 on Slipper Day. It's just incredible. It goes to show you that you're never too young to make a huge positive impact.
And that same spirit, it absolutely carries on with the older students. Let me tell you about Project Matric Dance. A group of 37 grade 11s decided they wanted to host a proper matric dance for another school they support, called Fidelitas. And they did the whole thing. They formed a committee, they fundraised, they even worked a shift as waiters at a restaurant to raise almost $5,000. They designed and hand-delivered the invitations themselves. This was 100% student-led, and it's just a beautiful example of empathy in action.
So when you step back and look at the big picture, what does all of this add up to? You've got the heritage projects, the eco-initiatives, the community outreach. It all points to one ultimate goal: giving these young people the tools, the confidence, and the passion to go out and actively shape a better future for everyone. And here's another brilliant example of that in action: the peer-to-peer initiative. Every weekend, you have students from grades 10 to 12 from Crawford who go over to Fidelitas to tutor grade 8s in math. But this isn't about charity. It's so much more. It's about building a culture where everyone learns from each other. It's about sharing knowledge and growing together, building a bridge between two communities. And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. What Crawford Sandton has created is more than just a great school program. It's a powerful blueprint. It shows us what's truly possible when you stop treating sustainability and social responsibility as side projects and put them right at the very heart of education. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If this is what one single school community can build, just imagine what an entire system of education could achieve.